A knock on my door broke my thoughts, surprising me.
Who is it?
Hey, are you okay in there? Your parents should be here soon, so you should hurry getting ready.
Well, I'm ready, but...
But what? I'm sure you look fine, Anderson. Just come on out.
Okay.
As I opened the door to the hall, I watched as Naomi and Suzu's faces turned from smiles to complete awestruck stares.
What?
Dude, you look hot.
Yeah, you look amazing. Where did you get that dress?
I had it for a while now. I just never had the chance to wear it. I figured I may as well bring it out now.
Okay, I stepped out of my room and closed my bedroom door behind me. As I walked down the hall to the grand lobby, the incubi stood waiting for me at the bottom, all dressed to the nines as proper servants.
Whoa, they really know how to dress well, don't they?
Yeah.
I was slightly taken aback on how great the boys looked in uniform. Each had the poise of a perfect gentleman, even Sam. I slowly began to climb down the steps with Suzu and Naomi behind me. The boys watched as I descended the staircase one at a time, like knights waiting for their princess. I felt my face slightly flush, but I quickly shook my head to try and regain my thoughts. As I reached the last step, James offered his hand out to me, and we walked down that step smiling. Yes.
As beautiful
That's
as
exactly
a
what the line
princess,
said.
miss.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So, are you prepared for tonight?
I'm ready.
ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I had to be confident in my skills. My dad expected a lot out of me already. If I faltered at this party, who knows what he would think of me? I had to assure myself in every word that came out of my mouth that I was ready. The other boys smiled assuringly at me, which made me feel a little better about everything. I looked at my phone and marked the time. Almost right on cue, the doorbell rang. I gulped. I could practically feel my dad's aura from behind the door. Sam and Eric quickly rushed to the door and opened the double doors wide to reveal my parents, both dressed in their best.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Oh my, I didn't know your bequeathment came with servants.
It was probably overlooked. Besides, who would deny good service?
I was completely shocked. My parents didn't question the boys. They didn't ask for verification or anything. I looked at the boys and noticed Sam and Eric staring intently at my parents. Were they using their powers on them? They had to be. There was no way they'd be okay with this otherwise.
I guess the servants counted as belongings to the house.
My mother quickly rushed to me and gave me a large hug. I hugged her back, inhaling her perfume because I'm breathing in the chemicals. It had only been a couple days, but living away from the ones who raised me was hard. My mother soon let me go and looked at my outfit.
Look, kid, let me tell you, it's been like 6 years for me, and it's still hard.
Oh, yeah.
Gorgeous. You look so lovely. David, look at your daughter and tell her I'm right.
I looked to my dad, who was looking around the lobby like an inspector. I stood my ground, waiting for him to look at me. When he did, he let a small smile grace his lips.
Your mother's right. You look like you're all grown up.
The world around me stopped as my heart pounded hard in my chest. Did my dad just compliment me? On his own accord? My mother was grinning ear to ear at his words. I was beyond speechless.
Thank you, Daddy.
However, his cold face quickly returned as he began to look around once again.
I assume that you're ready, then, to impress the rest of the guests, correct?
What do you mean?
The entire board from Anderson Toys is coming tonight. Even the vice chairman's son will be coming.
My potential.
Oh, I cut him off. Oh well.
To become CEO of the company.
Suck it.
I knew it. Something was off about tonight now this party had become so much more than I anticipated. I gulped silently, but I nodded in response. I looked to the incubi, but they were continuing to be servants for my father's approval. I looked behind me and saw Naomi and Susie raise their thumbs at me for encouragement. I let out a small breath before feeling my body accept the situation. I felt a weight in my gut, but I had to hide. I forgot probably the most important. It's just like Laundry just like finds a wardrobe and just goes by and hides from there. As if time zoomed forward, all of a sudden the main hall of the lobby was full of guests. Men and women in formal or business attire showed up to meet me and see my new home. I can't expect many to come, but I was once again surprised that night. I shook hands with many officials and executive members, putting on the professional face my dad trained me to have. I felt overwhelmed, but I hid it well behind a small smile and handshake. Many even asked me questions. I tried my best to reply as maturely as possible. I had to remember, say what they want to hear, not what you want to say.
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
Fuck off.
I'm so sorry about your
Do you have call?
What do you think will
What do you think of the
Rapid fire question round.
Do
We're
you think
playing
the company-
Jeopardy with these people, and they kind of suck because they don't talk. Okay, never mind. Eventually, the questions stopped, and I was back to being by myself. Naomi and Susan were mingling in the crowds, and the incubi were doing their jobs, so I was all alone in a room full of strangers. It was unnerving to think about, but at least I wasn't being questioned left and right anymore. Here we go.
Time to auction me off.
I'm just all my time I'm just gonna be thinking, Genesu. Suddenly, though, my mom pushed her way through the crowd to me, bringing along someone I didn't know.
How many cattle?
Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
He's offering 72 oxen. I'm going to fuck him. Up.
With my mother stood a man who looked only a couple of years older than me. He smiled and held out his hand to me, silently asking for my hand. It was then that I realized
I'm Andrew Lewis. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Anderson.
that he was a cyborg. As I placed my hand in his, he raised it to his lips and kissed over my
Oh,
knuckles.
not going for just a handshake? Okay.
I felt my hand. I felt my hand burn slightly. Apparently, he's really hot. I felt my face burn slightly at the gesture. Andrew smiled at me before releasing my hand.
I'm honored to be invited here.
My mother smiled at both of us, which made me slightly concerned. Why was she excited to introduce me to Andrew?
So, you organized this party very well, Miss Anderson.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Praise is very much deserved.
Andrew then chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to cover his laugh properly before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I
Fist
seem
me,
a little
Laundry!
forward. I've just been excited to meet Harold Anderson's
I'm
granddaughter.
sorry if I seem a little forward. I've just been so excited to be fisted by Harold Anderson's granddaughter.
Huh? Why?
He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all of the stories. You've helped a lot with the success of the company without having to actually work there.
Wow, I didn't know he talked about me and all my child labor.
That would explain everyone's fascination with me and their rather personal questions. I looked at Andrew, who had a kind face to me. Something about him seemed off, and I didn't know what it was. He seemed to be hiding something. Whether it was good or bad, I was not able to find out.
Well, now we finally can.
Hey! I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn around. Next to me was my dad, giving his cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense. Oh, he actually looks kind of cute when he's scared.
I'm not surprised to hear that come from you.
Your face! Shut up!
Step on him.
I
So,
will.
you're Jared's son.
Andrew's body twitched slightly. Whether it was fear or insult, Andrew locked eyes with my father. I couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me how fragile the air had become, enough to break at the wrong word.
You're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company.
Well,
I stared at Andrew. This guy wanted to take my grandfather's place as CEO? I thought the vice chairman wanted the position.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
I'm merely testing the boy's conversational skills. Nothing wrong with that.
Of course not, sir.
And polite as well. Interesting.
If you'll excuse me.
Quickly, Andrew retreated away from my family into the crowd of people.
Follow him! Follow him! Follow him!
You can do impossible things when you
follow your heart.
I quickly followed Andrew, wanting to be sure he was all right. I felt a little embarrassed that my dad put him on the spot like that. I had to apologize. We wound up outside.
How romantic!
The stars practically danced on the grass as we stood in the background of the mansion. It had been my first time in years being out there, even though I was just there this afternoon with Jane. Okay, but my thoughts weren't on the nostalgia.
Hey, Andrew.
Oh, this poor baby.
I think I'm going to like Andrew a lot.
He looks so fucking done.
Andrew turned to me in surprise. However, his face was completely red in both embarrassment and humiliation. I felt terrible.
Oh,
terribly
I
hot.
didn't see you or hear you following. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I should be the one to apologize.
What for? You didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, for the way my dad behaved. He shouldn't have been so...
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, I should have expected it and been more prepared.
Andrew rubbed the back of his neck and gave a goofy grin. It was intriguing seeing Andrew's professional side and then seeing a goofy smile away from everyone.
His professional side ain't all that.
Yeah.
Still, I'm sorry for that.
It's not a problem, really, but thank you.
We both smiled at each other before I reached my hand out to him. He tilted his head and raised an eyebrow in confusion.
Shake my hand, loser.
Laundry. My name is Laundry.
Laundry.
We never get over it. In understanding, his smile returned before he took my hand gently and shook it.
That's a pretty name. I'm happy to know it now.
That's not that nice.
I have to disagree with you. It's much better than Andrew.
What?
I mean, who names their kid Andrew?
Would you rather be named Cotton or Peaches or
Downy?
Downy?
Washer, dryer?
A lot of people do.
But how about Axel or Ace? Something cool like
Oh my god.
Truly
Is he
millennial.
Is he a Oh my god.
Is he what?
He's a nerd, isn't he? He's like not like a nerd, like a science nerd, but like a comic book nerd.
I don't know, I guess we'll find out.
Bet he reads One Punch Man. I couldn't help but laugh at him.
He was pretty chill.
At him. He was pretty chill for a guy who was supposed to be a vice chairman's son. He grinned and laughed along with me. What a chill dude. I don't know why, but I felt warm. Whether it was the almost non-existent breeze or the situation we found ourselves in, it felt nice.
Lewis.
Oh, come on.
No! Is this gonna be that kind of route? Are we gonna have to deal with a shotgun father? I'm done. I'm already done. And just like that, the feeling had vanished. We both turned to see my dad at the doors of the mansion, staring at Andrew with an almost deadly glare. Andrew straightened up, trying to maintain a business posture.
Yes, sir?
Your limo is in the front. The driver has requested that you return home. Now.
Right. The driver.
I am really sick of patriarchy.
Thank you, sir.
I think it's going to be more of a Montague Capulet kind of thing.
Oh.
Don't associate, don't fraternize with the enemy.
Andrew quickly nodded to me before speeding back into the mansion to leave. As I took a step to follow, my dad stepped in front of me.
Dad.
I don't want to hear it. Do not become friendly with him.
Oh, it
He wants
is.
to take the company
I called
away
it.
from us. You
Oh,
have
no.
no reason to be friends with him.
No reason except that he's a nice person.
We're Andrew and Laundriette. Before I could retort, my dad turned away and walked back inside. He was moonwalking again, muttering the party was nearing an end.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Did you read the post on Tumblr that was like, that doesn't mean where are you? That means why the fuck are you named Romeo?
Yes, I remember that. But I also don't give a shit about Shakespeare, so... I sighed and entered the house as well, wanting for the party to end immediately. Eventually, only Suzu, Naomi, and my parents and the incubi were left. My dad suddenly walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder with a smile. I stared up at him, a wave of confusion washing over my face.
What?
You did good tonight. I'm proud.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Keep
Actually,
it up,
Mr.
and you'll
Anderson,
be a good
you
CEO.
did well.
Oh, right.
All right, your mother and I have to leave. I'm sure Naomi and Suzu need to leave as well. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
Right.
Thanks for having us. It was a great party.
We'll come visit tomorrow or something. All right?
Right, see ya.
Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon.
Will do.
All 4 of my remaining guests left the building, all but my dad waving back to me. With the last of the guests gone, I sighed and sat on the staircase, exhausted. And...
Phew, that was tiring.
It's not like you had to do any work, though.
Suck a
Give
dick,
her a
Sam.
break, man. She was getting
Suck a dick,
interrogated
suck
left
a
and
dick,
right.
suck a motherfucking dick,
She
suck
handled
a dick,
herself
Sam,
the best
suck
she
a
could.
huge or small dick, Sam.
As expected, princess.
Since you're exhausted, why not head to bed? We can clean up.
Hush, Sam.
Are you guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long.
Ho ho ho! It didn't take long.
Bye.
Nobody cares about Malix anymore. He's just a demon. Devil, sorry, I keep calling him a demon because there are so many demons in the story. He's a devil. I know we've had this clarified many times to us, but I constantly mess them up because they both begin with D-E and they both are 5 letters long. And God, homework is so boring, but we gotta make history with the CEO. Gotta be a CEO. We gotta date the Andrew and not disturb the boys because we already fucked them and we're gonna have pizza. And then we go to our room and eat because it's kind of sad. And then we're gonna go be even sadder at grandfather's grave. Wow.
Morbid, right?
That was a really great transition I made accidentally. It was Sunday, and I felt the need to see my grandfather. It had been 3 days since he had been buried, and the cemetery was only a short walk away. I decided to see him. I took my time eating and headed out to the street to walk towards the cemetery. It was a good half-hour walk, but it would be a nice stroll. A flower shop was on the way, so I could pick up flowers for his grave. I still felt the sting of grief run through my bones, but I knew that it would eventually fade over time. I paused my journey to the cemetery to enter the flower shop, quickly picking a bouquet from the back display case and paying.
The bouquet of lilies, please. Thank you.
With flowers in hand, I made my way to the large steel gates of St. Joseph Cemetery. I entered and felt the cold shiver of death run through the air against my skin.
Great.
Would it always be like this? The cemetery was a final resting place. It wasn't just for mourning or sadness. It was supposed to also be a place for remembrance. I sighed as I walked through the cemetery toward my grandfather's grave. Before I could reach it, though, I noticed a figure standing by the slab.